Getting ready to start soon, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Good evening. How is everyone? Sean, I'm going to have you wait for just a minute. I'm going to close it for just a second. I'm learning as we're going. Guess what? Just as I learned it before, all of a sudden they got a new video. So I'm going to try to shut the wait bot off. And we did it. Hello, everyone. Look at that. It only took 2 minutes. I'm sure we're going to have a few more people join us, but I just wanted to say hello and welcome to 3 a.m. Friend. I'm your host, Tammy Pescatelli. You got to see a glimpse of one of my great pals, Sean Polofsky, who will be joining us, the very hilarious Sean Polofsky. And hopefully our other very funny friend, Vicky Barbalak, will be jumping in a little bit later too, because the two of them have some exciting news that I'm happy to be able to share with you. So before we get started, let's all, if you have a glass, take a drink. Let's just salute. For me, it's just water tonight because I'm old and I don't have time to do all this. But can everybody hear me all right? Send up a little thumbs up if you can. Are we doing all right? You're loving? Good. Tina, I see you, and my soul, I see you, and the weight bot is still here with us, and we're just going to hang out just a quick second because, look, Fireside was tough as it was, but they've revamped and made it way more user-friendly. Beautiful colors. Love the Fireside chat in the front. And by the way, we've been trending 2 weeks in a row, trending. So I can only thank you guys for that. I know there's only a few of us here right now, but however it works, it works. So I just wanted to start off 3am Friend. I have a few things. As everyone who has been familiar with this format before knows, what I kind of do is talk about a few things that are happening in my life and how it relates to friendship. And then I bring my friends on. And from there, we work it all out. And then you guys can take the questions. We're going to stay right around a half hour today. Today I've been going through something, and it's actually been going on for a couple of weeks, but my sound is good and everybody can hear me well. We're all good. How about send me a little hearts or send me a heart if you can hear me well. How about that? Everybody send a heart if you can hear me well. Because I got a new microphone, new setup, and highlights. How about that? I've been going through something for a couple of weeks. So earlier, a few years ago, I would say I was maligned, would be a good way, by a colleague. I told the truth about a situation that colleague was in, and that colleague went on, who had more power than me, to actually lie, say that what happened didn't happen, insult me, say that I was jealous. I ended up losing my agent, my manager, gigs, all kinds of stuff. It was a really hard thing. Good people stepped up. Sean Polofsky and Vicky Barbalak are some of those good people. But so that was a very difficult time. And I tell you that to just coming to now, how it relates to now, another very good friend, one of my true 3am friends, a person who helped me through that situation, got an opportunity to work for that person in a very significant role. And show business is tough. You don't always get those opportunities. They're few and far between. And I was more than excited for my 3am friend to get that job. And not only that, I've been able to try to help write a few jokes on the sly for it. But somewhere inside of me, I think I do feel a little bit hurt that good things don't happen for all good people. And that's very hard to it's very hard to balance in your life, you know? So I want to talk to you a little bit later. Would you have allowed your friend, would you have told your friend not to work for the bad person? I couldn't. I couldn't see anything other than joy in it. And people, I have friends, my husband, everybody was like, what's wrong with you? Don't you feel upset that that bad person is achieving different things? No, because at least that bad person was smart enough to hire a good person. Would you agree? Would you be happy for your friend that your friend got a good job, even though it was with a person that has been horrible to you? Send me a little thumbs up, thumbs down. What do you think? And we'll talk about something else. There's something else I want to talk about. Uh, Kendall Jenner is having these new, you know, I'm always fascinated by the Jenners. And how can you not be? We can't talk about some pop culture or relationships or, quite honestly, even friendships without talking about the fact that Kendall has gotten her lips done and they're a little bit overblown. Now, maybe they're just freshly done, but what kind of friend are we? Do we tell our friends, hey, you've gone a little bit too far? Are you that type of friend? I know that I am. It doesn't mean that I'm right, but I also have those kind of friendships with my friends. I don't just randomly go up to the street on the street and tell people, but the people who are truly my friends, I say, hey, you look great. Let's ease up a little bit. I've done it. Have you? Would you be able to? And the third thing we're going to open up for everybody is we had a very sad situation in New York. 87-year-old Barbara Meyer Gustown was a singing coach for Broadway, an amazing, from all accounts, I did not know her, but from all accounts, just a joyous woman who had been in show business, helped countless people, was randomly shoved down, pushed, hit her head on the sidewalk, ultimately died by 26-year-old Lauren Pazienza. Sorry to say that Italian last name. But her family, Lauren's family, hid her from the press, from the cops for a couple weeks. Her aunt kept her phone. Her parents hid her. Would you do that? Would you hide out someone who you know has done wrong? So let's talk about those things. What kind of 3 a.m. friend? Where do we go with it? Personally, I have to tell you, how would I feel about it? My friend, I wouldn't hide out. The only person I would maybe hide out would be my son, but I'd end up taking him over to the police. I'd first take him to an attorney, and then I'd turn him in, because I'm just one of those people who always does the right thing, even when it's to our detriment. So I definitely would turn her in. So I'm gonna open up though right now. I'm gonna bring on my sweethearts. My first comes Vicky Barbalak. How are you, Vicky? Are you there?
Tammy, really good, girl.
Hi, baby girl. I'm going to try to invite you to video, okay?
Okay.
Let's see. I'm inviting you to video, and there's my Sean Polofsky. Vicky, I just invited you to video, so take a quick look at your, but at least you're here audio. Oh, you did it.
Can you believe that?
And you did it?
It's a shock.
I'll try it again. Come on, Vicky, you can do it. You can do it, girl. There.
Vicky,
Woo!
Vicky.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you.
please, children of all ages, however you identify, whatever your pronouns, please meet. These are how they identify. Hilarious, funny, the best, solid, just amazing people. They're not just funny comedians, but these are my 2 girls from the Comedy Store, my soul sisters from the Comedy Store. Please welcome Vicky Barbalak and Sean Polofsky.
Tammy Pescatelli, right back to you, girl. That's what everyone says about you all over wherever I go. Tammy Pescatelli, the best, the most solid, everywhere. I said, she's not all that. She's not all that.
Well, I am solid. If you've seen me have to replace the toilet seats in my house, I'm pretty solid. I've gained more weight that I couldn't even visit you, Vicky.
I could only dream that you're telling the truth.
I'm telling you the truth, sunshine.
Well, Tammy, not only are you funny, but you're fiercely loyal. So that speaks volumes in this business that we call show.
To a default, I think sometimes, but again, that's why I say 3 a.m. friend, because, it comes from that old joke that you could call me up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I'll show up with a shovel and bail money, no questions asked, right? But, first of all, I want to tell everybody why you're, not just because we're friends, but there's also some exciting things. But so I want to make sure we get to it before anybody goes anywhere. What's going on? We have an amazing thing happening for the both of you on all things comedy.
Yep. We got a podcast called Trailer Park Diaries, and we kind of imagined that Shanika would move into my trailer park, and I actually found these diaries and we read them, and we're just having we had a blast recording them during the shutdown, and now the episodes are up, and it premiered yesterday, and despite a couple of small glitches, it went really well. So we had a great time. So it's stupid fun.
It's very exciting because, look, I don't care what anybody wants to say, and I'm just going to say it how it is. They pretend to say that comedy is not male-dominated, that women have a place in it right now. And they do if you're under 40. Nobody wants to see the
Which
whole
I am, Tammy. Which
yes,
I am.
You are. I forgot you are. But the fact that you guys broke through that, and I just can only wish you the best. I'm going to make sure I tune in. That's what I do while I clean my house is listen to every podcast ever and support you guys. So funny, so hilarious. I listened to an excerpt. I was dying. I can't believe you found those diaries. I can't wait to keep hearing what you get into this whole time.
How long have you had the show on Fireside? I just got on the Fireside.
Well, this is just my 3rd episode, so welcome.
Great.
Yeah, I do it every other Wednesday because, look, I have a family. It used to be, people don't understand, like comedy for me as a wife and a mother, every other day, somebody's got a really bad cricket. I don't know what that is. Or is that a comment on our show?
I was hoping it was jewelry.
Yeah. Hey, the thing is that used to be I'd be on the road and I was a comic. Then I'd come home and I'd be a wife and a mother. So whenever I was home, that's what it was. Well, now it's different. Now you're constantly giving content, constantly having to do stuff. And all I can really commit to is every other week right now at home because there are football games, basketball games, wrestling matches, track meets. There's always something for me to be at. So I don't want to have to be doing this from the backseat of my car at a track rink.
Yeah, you do other things in the backseat of your car, Tammy.
That's how I got my son.
Yeah, that's how you got all these kids.
Hey, I know how you got your son. Can you just tell everybody where you hooked up?
All right, let's talk about this. So I just had a hot flash because that's where I am in my life. But if everybody watching needs to know that literally I had been dating. I was in therapy, so I had learned that my value, my worth, and I wasn't just monogamous. I was just dating. I wasn't, not that I was sleeping with everybody. I was dating a couple people, and one of the guys I was dating was my husband, Luca. But obviously, we were just dating at the time. And I went. Sean has this fabulous, wonderful 4th of July bash that we had went to for years and years, and everybody went. You went until the cops came, and then when the cops came, they joined in. And right, and I was there with one of the boys that I was dating. We'll call him boy. And Luca came, and I was in the kitchen getting some of the wonderful food that people had made. Sean was passed out in the bed. She doesn't even remember. And I looked at him. I realized that I needed to explain to him why I was with someone else. And it let me know that I must really care for this guy because, not to surprise anybody, but I didn't explain anything to anybody about anything ever. Like it was get on or get off. And I was like, okay, I must really like him. And then I stopped dating everybody but Luca. And here we are.
So great.
Love at the 4th of July fiesta.
Yeah, well, that means you
My
go to heaven.
book is done.
Sure. That means you go to heaven for sure. So, okay, so let's talk about a few things. So for you guys, you've had an amazing friendship. Amazing. And you've held it through all this. And it is not easy in show business. You are true friends. And what do you think makes you hold on to that true friendship outside of all the noise?
Shanika gives all her old clothes to my daughters.
And Vicky feeds me when I come over.
Basically, and she cleans my kitchen before she eats. So basically, those 3 things are the triangular corners of our friendship.
Have you ever been in a fight before?
Oh yeah, we've been in a fight. Yeah, we got through a big fight. It was worse than any divorce I ever had. And I've had a lot of divorces.
Isn't that isn't that hard though? I lost my best friend to politics, and and literally that was hard. I have to wake up to be 50 years old without your best friend, and it was like not my choice, by the way, but you figure it out. Like, okay, so let's talk about the topics that I was talking about. If someone hurt you in show business, and then later on offered your friend a job, how would you feel about that? Would you say, all right, go ahead, get that job? Or would you say, maybe you shouldn't do that? You know what this person did to me.
I think we gotta say yes. Myself. What do you think, Shanika?
Well, Vicky, I definitely would want that person to succeed because they're my friend, and I would never want to create that barrier. And I would say, go on and succeed, and you do you. But I can't lie and say that inside, again, like Leo, fiercely loyal, there's just a part of me that would feel hurt just because of what had gone down with that other person. And but I wouldn't get in the way of their work, but I could say I think I would be bummed mentally a little bit about it, but I wouldn't treat them different.
Right, girls. Wait, say somebody with the name that rhymes with Beth Haas, some dude that we all know who rhymes with a Beth Haas.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about.
I don't know. Am I stupid? I have no clue.
I know
his first name is Jeff. His last name rhymes with
that person. Okay.
Say he offered one of us a show and the other to be on his show as his aunt. And the other of us would go, well, be good. Hello, good luck. You gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Well, that's the Johnny Bravo thing. That's in the Brady Bunch. They offered Greg to separate from his, so he was supposed to go on and be Johnny Bravo, and he left his family, which was horrible. I actually told my friend, go ahead.
Quoted the Johnny Bravo.
I have so much useless information in here. That's how you know that I write all my jokes, because all that useless information is in here. No one has the junk in here that I have.
Great.
But I think I said to my friend, you got to get your bag. You got to do what you have to do. Show business is fickle. You get yourself into a position that you have the choice, and then you bring me on, and that would be the best success that I could ever feel. That's the success is great revenge,
Yes, I heard a great story. I went to see a one-woman show by that comedian. She used to wear the big ball gowns. You know who I'm talking about, but I can't think of her name.
Oh, no. Rita Rudner?
Rita Rudner.
Yes, somebody who does her voice and her act exactly.
Okay.
A group of female comics.
Right on. Well, I went to a one-woman show in Orange County, and she talked about the story. They developed a show for her. Her husband developed a show for her while they were dating, and he ended up not giving her the show. He gave it to someone else.
Well, that's when you don't marry that guy.
And then she went on and married the guy. She married the guy. They've been married for 20 years. It was the most amazing story to me. I'm like, wow, how do you get past that? But she actually did, because she really loved him. They broke up for a while, but not too long.
Vicky, there's not enough Prada purses to get me married.
Well, I have to say, Vicky, what was it? First of all, was the show successful?
That's a good point. I don't think it was. So
right. Listen, I love my husband, but he's got a million shows that he could give to other people that I wouldn't care about.
I swear to God, you guys, I know it's such a weird story, but it just blew me away. I think he must be like a 12-inch dude. You know what I'm saying? There had to be a reason.
So, all right. So let's talk about the Kendall Jenner story that I was talking to you about. She blew up her lips. I don't know. Maybe I can find a picture to show you guys. They're really large, and it's very funny because, have you ever told a friend that's too much? How much? Here, take a look. Those are her lips. Can you see that?
Yeah. Helen Keller could see those lips. It's huge.
I know. She could be on a flight. Not that she's any less beautiful, because she is. She's a gorgeous, gorgeous supermodel. But
that's what that family does, Tammy. They all blow up their lips and their face, and they start to kind of look
sure. And
ridiculous.
and absolutely, that is what that family does. But would you be able? Do you have a friendship with someone that you would be comfortable enough to say, "Hey, enough is enough. You look gorgeous. Take it down a notch." You like Jocelyn Wildenstein. You know who she was?
The
useless
lion lady.
The lion lady. Somebody somewhere should have said to her, "Knock it off." Do you think you could do that for someone?
I definitely would. And I'm a firm believer of plastic surgery. Fix your face, fix your skin. But if you're getting shit done wrong, you have to step up and tell that person. And I'm not always good about like confrontation like that. I would soften the blow a little bit, maybe buy them a bottle of champagne before I be like, oh, did you do something with your lips? But I think that in order for me to be a good friend to somebody, I would have to speak up.
Right. What about you, Vic?
I would say I have already failed. I had a friend, Kathy, good friend of mine for years. Ever since I knew her, she had a giant mole right here on her face. I mean, it was about this big as the top of your pinky. Big mole with a big hair coming out of it. A big black hair coming out of the mole.
Okay, it's the hair that throws you off a bit,
and
right?
Honest to God, her husband was the most handsome guy I've ever met. She had 3 beautiful children, beautiful home, but she had this huge mole with this hair coming out. And one day, she just showed up and the mole was gone after 10 years of looking at this mole in the hair. And I go, whoa. Because I would have suggested that she had it removed, but I always thought it was connected to a vital organ. And she goes, oh yeah, I just had it removed. And it was like all those years of me going, can you get that removed in my head? But I would never say it out loud, thinking, must be impossible. But, I always wish, later that I would have maybe said that 10 years earlier, since
maybe you should have said something to Sean and I at some point.
Nothing. Are you guys? You're perfect. Are you kidding me? I would say,
you know what? I would never. It's not that I feel I'm perfect, but I feel like it's unique. And somebody said something to me about like, how come you never got your nose done? And I just said, by the time I had the money to do it, I thought it would be too big of a change. And what if I thought about it too much? To do something like that, you have to be 16, 18, 20 years old where you think everything's perfect and the fairy's going to come and float your face together. You know what I mean?
Well, for me, I was waiting and still am for Barbara Streisand to die in a tragic boating accident so I can play her in the biopic. So TikTok.
I know. I missed my role as Paula Jones in the Monica Lewinsky story.
Paula Jones, you're killing me today with your references.
Oh, well, I just was watching that. That's on American Horror Story, the Monica Lewinsky story. All right, so let's talk about the last and third, and then we'll chime in for the audience. The audience will jump in, and if you have questions, and if someone you knew committed, I'm not talking about your children. I'm not talking about your husband, your sister. I'm talking about a friend committed a crime. Would you be able to hide them?
I would never hide somebody like that. I'm scared of my own shadow. So no, I would not be that friend. But Vicky,
you're deep in thought. Are you trying to see who's in the room? Don't turn the camera.
I'm just thinking of all the crimes that I have committed that Shanika is fully aware of.
But nobody caught you doing them, and you didn't murder someone.
No, I mean, like if it depends on the crime and what happened and why they did it. Like some people could commit a crime because there's it would depend. I could see myself if I felt like the crime was justified, like it was a situation like that.
I get like Jennifer Lopez in Enough, and her husband's beating her up, or
that kind of thing. Yes,
of course.
Yes, absolutely. And they just jailed some people in England because they overfed their daughter and she died. So you can be arrested for a lot of weird.
Be arrested for a lot of stuff, but they won't arrest you with a gun because they don't have guns as cops. Right. So all right, so let's open it up to the audience. Does anybody else have any questions for us? I mean, in the meanwhile, in between time, we're going to be talking about all this. Looks like Tina, you have some questions. I'm going to invite you in. All right, Tina Schneider, are you there?
Hello.
Hi, Tina. How are you?
Good. Hi, Vicky. Hi, Sean. How are you?
Hi, Tina.
So on the last question, I'm a shitty liar, so I might want to take someone in, but when the cops come interviewing me, they would know right away that I'm hiding something. So I wouldn't be good at it. I'll be like, I'll take you in, but I won't be good at it. Um,
I
with
follow you, Tina, on that. I'm that same person.
yeah, with the other questions about other people doing things like with their body and things like that, I'm trying to be more accepting of people just do what they do. Although I do get conflicting emotions and feelings about things, if someone were to directly ask me my opinion on something, and I'd say, "Do you want the truth? Because that's all I give you," then I would tell them. And if they didn't like that, I'd say, "Well, don't ask."
And that's the situation I'm talking about. I'm not talking about just randomly walking up to random people, or I'm talking
Right,
about a good friend who's gone too far. There are,
right.
like someone should have maybe said to Michael when he was planning, Michael Jackson, when he was planning on that last nose job, maybe it's not a good idea. Sit in this for a while. Perhaps someone did, but I'm just saying, are you that kind of friend, or do you just sit back and then comfort him when it goes wrong?
Well, I've had to do that with people I know with eating disorders that are friends, and it's kind of like walking a fine line, but it's like to the point where they know you're concerned and concerned enough that you're bringing it to their attention because otherwise you're generally accepting. So I have done that, especially when health and safety is involved. So yes,
I think that's a good line. I think that's especially, you said the key words, health and safety. So, Tina, thank you so much. Appreciate
thank
you
Thank you,
you.
Tina.
hanging out, listening, and figuring out this whole 3 a.m. friend with me over here on Fireside. So, thanks again.
Thanks, Tina. I won't be showing up in your house to hide out. Thanks for the tip.
I know. We'll definitely have to keep going back. I'm trying to get back to you guys. We'll just leave it right here at the very end. I'm trying to figure it out. So, give us one little thing. Are you guys touring? I need to know that you're touring and you're going to do this show live, perhaps. Maybe you're going to do your podcast live, or you're going to tour together. What's new for you guys at the end of this year?
That was a great idea. We haven't even talked about that, but that'd be so much fun,
Well,
Shamshka.
I mean, of course, I'd love to do it live. I just figure we've got to, grow the audience because we
Yeah.
just debuted yesterday. And
You have built-in audience. You have people who love you. Definitely everybody go to All Things Comedy and listen to their podcast. But also, don't forget, you guys, you are so funny. You are two veteran, funny female comedians. I'm telling you, if I can get a bus, we'll do, comedy bingo together. I'll pick you up and we'll
Great.
run it around and do it. I'd be on any stage with the both of you at any
I
time.
would love
Well,
that as well.
yeah, no, Tammy, you're incredible. And our training ground was the store. And, when you work at the Comedy Store, that's just where you get good. And so I think when, Vicky and I are on the road, and sometimes, I'm fortunate enough because Vicky, after being on AGT, she gets a lot of amazing gigs. And sometimes I'm lucky enough to go with her and work with her. And it's just, it's a dream to work with your best friend. And not everybody can say that they can do that. And somebody who makes you laugh and makes you feel good and is always there for me. Whenever I feel conflicted, no matter with what is going on in my life, she just always has that wisdom to offer me and that support to give me. When we second guess ourselves in this business, which is it's easy to do when you just feel like there's a barrage of shit coming at you all the time.
Well, we didn't grow up in that. And to be fair, comedy is in a, we're going to wrap up here in a little bit, but comedy is in a different space. There's an open stage for women now. I have to think that you guys are, along, I would hope with myself, were part of the reason that happened. Even Mitzi, who picked each of us, was tough on us. And sometimes there was only a spot for one female or two. And it's amazing that those of us who grew up in that were really friends because it wasn't set up for us to be friends. So I've always been so grateful to each of you for your friendship. I mean, I'd be down in La Jolla and there'd come Vicky and Lou. Lou'd be playing on the piano and they'd be there hanging out. Anytime I was ever coming back to LA after I moved, Sean, you'd be there. So, I mean, I just love you both and I can't wait to watch you blow up even bigger.
I love you. And I think that the three of us should do a theater show. I think it'd be really fun. I think that also there's a huge audience for three strong women. So I think we should definitely really consider doing it. And
you can't shut these bitches up.
That's right.
Something, I don't know. Well, I love you all. Everybody, please remember to go to All Things Comedy. And what's the name of the podcast?
Wherever you listen to your podcast. We're on Spotify, Apple, wherever you find your podcast. It's called Trailer Park Diaries.
Wonderful. And follow you on all the socials.
Yeah.
Under your name, right?
Yeah. I mean,
right.
that wonderful, easy name, Sean Polofsky, just rolls off your tongue.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Tammy Pescatelli.
We got three shitty names, you guys. It's amazing.
I know, it's really, we should, I don't know about my nose, but I probably should have changed that. But guys, I can't thank you enough for being part of it. For those of you who tuned in, 2 weeks from now, that'll be April 6th. I have a very special guest that's coming on. You'll love him, Craig Ferguson. We've done a lot of the stuff on Ross the Boss's show here on Fireside. So thank you for tuning in. Vicki and Sean, not only thank you for being part of this, but really thank you for being my true friends.
We love you, TP.